tonight we're going to use the new tractor to load up the trailer filled with water for our garden here. We put a little soaker hose on this, we can crank it open, and during these 110, 115 degree days that we've had the last couple of weeks, just absolutely ridiculous amount of heat, we can leave the soaker hose turned on and the plants get fed all day long, so our cucumbers don't dry up and go away, and zucchini and tomatoes and things like that. So with this thing completely loaded, the trailer and the bucket of water with 330 gallons in it, we're talking 28, 29, 3,000 pounds worth of water and trailer. So when I hook that up to my Rhino, the Rhino sits low enough to the ground that I can get everything unhooked. Unfortunately, the Rhino isn't strong enough to pull it. Even when I put it in four-wheel drive, the front wheels kind of just drag the back wheels along, kind of like a limp dog. So I've hooked it up to the pickup truck before. The problem with the pickup truck is it sits up too high, so whenever I go to undo the trailer, it doesn't have a jack, it only has a stand that drops out of the bottom. So I can't get the tongue up high enough, or in this case down low enough because we're on an angle. I can't move that ball hitch on the back of the truck. So with the tractor, not only do I have a tow bar that goes in between the three-point hitch posts, but I also can lift the front of the tractor up with the bucket and lower the ball hitch on the back of the tractor. So a couple of neat little features that I can do with the tractor that I couldn't do with either the Rhino or the pickup truck. So we're going to use the tractor to do a little do a few chores tonight: water the garden, water the chickens, and then I'll probably hook the bush hog back up to it. And there are a couple of little spots that I want to hit up next to the house tonight. Just do a little bit of work, a few chores around the house. So stick with us for that. So we got ourselves a dozen tomatoes and a couple of nice zucchini today. Yeah, most people's gardens are dying right now with the amount of heat that we're getting. But ours is doing okay because we've got a permanent water solution. We are all clear there. Go ahead and fill up the bucket and get all the water for the garden, and then we'll fill up our buckets that are in my bucket. So I've got a bucket full of buckets up there for the chickens down in the barn. So. something back there in the woods caused me to break my shear bolt. So I'm gonna have to run to the tractor store maybe tomorrow, get a new shear bolt, because that one did exactly what it's designed to do, and it snapped smooth off when it hit something that was immovable. So we'll get a new shear bolt for this thing and get it back up and running maybe tomorrow. But you can see down in there, let's see if I can't turn it a little bit so you can see part of the hole. Yeah, you can see a little bit of daylight through there. But yeah, there's supposed to be a bolt that runs through that shaft right there that keeps this shaft spinning. Well, unfortunately, I hit something that was rated higher than that shear bolt was, but it did exactly what it was supposed to do, and it broke the bolt instead of breaking the gearbox or the PTO, the internals, things like that. Bending a PTO shaft, you know, before it does any of that, it's going to break that bolt. That bolt's the weakest part. So it did what it was supposed to do. That just means we're not going to be doing any more brush hogging, but I do have plenty of stuff down this trail that I can move with the bucket. So we're We have a magnificent dead tree here. I'm eventually gonna have to get out here with the chainsaw and get this thing down. It's probably 16 inches at the base. Runs all the way up there, all dead, all the way to the top. That whole tree right there is gonna have to come down. Unfortunately, about 30 feet on the other side of this tree is the fence. That's the fence line, so I certainly don't want it falling on the fence. I'm probably gonna end up laying it down right here in this trail, bucking it up right here, maybe making some firewood out of it, if any of it if I'm able to keep any of it. Make a really good bunch of firewood. I'd assume that a lot of it is rotten, but this one, same way. Big, magnificent tree covered in poison ivy all the way to the top. It's already got some broken limbs off right there, and it's got like one little section of living leaves right there at the top of this thing.